Welcome back. Good morning, San Diego. The time now is 8:18. We now have a better idea of just how many people are living on the streets throughout San Diego County.
Ed Lenderman is live downtown with details on the results of this year's point-in-time count that was done back in January. Good morning, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. If you're just joining us, we have been going over the specific numbers all morning, but essentially it's this: an expected rise in the homeless population, both county and city. But it was far less than the rises of the previous years, i.e. a 3% increase over the homeless count last year. And meanwhile, our homeless providers and resource people are saying we are encouraged by this because the previous year, from 2022 to 2023, it was a rise of 20%. So we've been characterizing Mayor Gloria and the Regional Task Force on the Homeless and other people, including Deacon Jim of Father Joe's Villages, as being encouraged by this. Well, of course, we need more, and we need more shelter beds and better treatment for the substance abuse that is part, obviously, and the real crux of some of the major issues of homelessness in our community. But again, encouraged was the word. Well, I can tell you the very plain-spoken Donnie Dee, who's the president and CEO of the San Diego Rescue Mission, is not encouraged. In fact, he's very critical of our assessment that we are encouraged. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you, Ed.
Nice to see you. Now, we want to tell you that this is a faith-based organization. They do not take government money, and there's a reason why. And you are very critical of any sort of characterization that we're making progress here.
Look, I think people are working hard. I'm super proud of the other service providers. I know they're putting in the effort. I know that they're making sacrifices and doing everything they can to get people off the streets. But as long as there are this many people sleeping on the streets, we should be concerned. And a little increase is, yeah, should we be encouraged by that? I guess. But I think we need to do a better job of getting more people off the streets as fast as we can. And a part of that is systematic. And I just think we have the wrong approach as a society, and we don't have the right system in place to really be able to truly help people.
I wish we had an hour, but we don't. But help us out with what's the wrong approach and why is this systematic? And it's just more money, but our methods aren't at the crux of this, and that is what?
Well, I would tell you that government funding is the elephant in the room. Not to say that the government shouldn't be involved with their funding. I just think that their approach is housing first, and housing first suggests that homelessness is a housing issue. And we would tell you at the San Diego Rescue Mission that homelessness is a heart issue. And until we get in there and address the issues of the heart through rehabilitation, through triage, through compassionate engagement, all we're doing is moving people around. And so that's why you still see an increase and not a decrease. Let's celebrate a decrease and not try to spin it in such a way that we all feel better about what's going on in our city, because what's going on in our city is a crisis.
Okay, Mayor Gloria will tell you he acknowledges the crisis. We need more shelter beds, and he's a fan of 1,000 shelter bed in an old warehouse in Kettner. It's getting some pushback, obviously, Kettner and Vine. No, if you're all you're going to do is warehouse these people and you don't treat the symptoms of homelessness, but are you not a fan of the 1,000-bed shelter?
We are supportive of that, and that's because we feel like that the mayor's office, and we've had conversations with them, is trying to do something different. We don't like the sprung structures. We feel like that's not the best place for people to get the help they need to change their life. It's moving them from a small tent to a big tent. Now, is that better than sleeping on the sidewalks? These sprung structures? Absolutely, 100%. Portable toilets, portable showers, bringing your meals in. You should go into one of those and see what life is like in our shelters. We feel like what the city's trying to do is provide a first-class facility where we're not using broken things to heal broken people and give them a chance through case management to get the help that they need to change their life. And so we would be supportive of a 1,000-bed shelter so long as they have the right approach.
But you are not supportive of just shelters. We have got to get to the heart of these people, and that means rehab.
Well, at some point they have to move out, don't they? I would tell you that a part of the reason why that our shelters are 98% full is because they're checking in, but they're not checking out. Like, and part of that is that we lack housing, but part of that is that there's not the intensity and the urgency to move them out. And so that when somebody new becomes homeless, there's no place for them to go because all our beds are actually taken up by people who've been there for longer than a year. That's a bad approach.
Wish we had an hour. He is a very thoughtful man, and he says this characterization that we're making progress, it's not one step forward, one step, it's maybe two, until we get rid of government funding and be holding to the system of, I got to have a budget next year, so we're going to do this, as opposed to the heart of the matter in terms of a faith-based organization where rehab and getting to a person's personal life is key, as opposed to providing a tent or even a roof, if you will. Donnie, thank you, as always, and we are back to you guys on the annual homeless count. Do not be encouraged, says this man, but we'll see.
Well, I think Donnie Dee would always say to always be encouraged, but don't think that this was a good report.
Yeah. If
But
Donnie
understood
hangs
his
on,
point.
and we got to go, but if Donnie hangs around, I'd love for you to ask him if this point in count if they ask where the homeless folks are coming from. Are they organic San Diegans, or are they coming from outside our area? Perhaps we could talk about that on our next live shot. So, Ed, we got to cut.
Yeah, we got to run, but
Yeah.
thank you. To be discussed. Great point.
Yes.
Yeah.